Hello everyone and welcome back to our fourth week in the channel. Now, the poll that was put up last Wednesday, the results are in and Blastoise Keldeo won. Now, this week we will be featuring Expanded this time around because we've done 2 weeks of Standard and I'll try my best not to make it more than 2 weeks of a certain format because both of them are important unless we are further in the season and Standard is the only thing left in terms of tournaments. But for now, there's tournaments for both formats and it's expanded turn. Now, if you want to help decide what deck gets played during the week, make sure to like my Facebook page, facebook.com/Tablemon. The link is also down below, where you can check on Wednesdays. The poll goes up with all the options and you can vote. So this week, this deck won. I'm very happy because it's a deck I really enjoy. I really enjoy playing. I've been playing it a lot, and it might not be the best deck to record because a lot of people just concede once they see you get a turn 1 Blastoise. But I'm still gonna try and get some good games in. And let's review the list pretty quickly, shall we? Now, Blastoise, of course, the deck relies on it. Its ability Deluge is amazing, as you can break the 1 energy per turn rule. You can attach any amount of water energy to any Pokemon you want. Now, the main attacker is Keldeo EX, which I'm gonna show them on full art as it reads better. With Secret Sword, you're doing a lot of damage. 20 more for every water energy attached. All you have is water energy, so you can literally one-hit KO any single Pokemon available in the format. And with Rush In, you're not that afraid of your opponent using Lysander and a Blastoise getting stuck in the active spot. And you're also not too worried about Hypnotoxic Laser, which is a threat in this format, a huge threat. Now, as secondary attackers, we have Articuno with Delta Plus, which is a very good card against Night March and also against Vespiquen. Now, it would be even better against Vespiquen if we had a Victini or a Trick Coin, but unless we see a lot of Vespiquen, I don't think it's that justified to run those cards just yet. But Tri-Edge, even though it relies on flips, it's 3 flips, so the damage is on average 80, which is enough to one-hit KO anything on Night March, and you're trading 2-for-1 prices, which is pretty good, and something you need to do in order to keep up against that deck. Now, another pretty standard attacker is Mewtwo EX, kind of similar to Keldeo. It's a good counter to other Mewtwo's, and it's a different type too, different weakness as well, which is important. And finally, this is a card that replaced Wailord EX. The world champion Jacob Van Wagner was using Wailord EX, but Kyogre EX with Dual Splash does 50 damage to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. That means you can KO 2 EVs, which could potentially turn into Leafeons, 2 Combis, which is pretty important, 2 Joltics, or if you have the Muscle Band attached, a Pumpkaboo and a Joltik, so definitely has its uses, and it being weak to lightning is also very nice, especially against Vespiquen. So that's why the card is in there. I'm gonna try it out. And as far as support Pokemon go, there's 2 Jirachi EX to be able to fetch Archie's Ace in the hole, which your whole strategy relies on using this card at most, probably in every game, on your second turn in order to get Blastoise out, because we are obviously not running any Squirtle. Shaman in order to refill our hand, draw more cards, get that turn 1 Archie's Ace in the hole, and Execute. Execute, even though running 2 is a bit risky because the odds of starting with it are higher, we also run 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 other basic Pokemon. So less than 10% of the game, less than 10% of our start or of our possible basic Pokemon are Execute. And they're great in order to control your hand size with Ultra Ball, with superior energy retrieval and things like that, and computer search, in order to ensure you get rid of every single card except Archie's, and you use Archie's turn 1. And in terms of trainers, you will see there's 4 Acrobike in order to thin out the deck, discard things you don't need, keep things you do need, and control your hand size. Battle Compressor ensures the Blastoise in the discard ready to be retrieved by Archies, gets you the 2 executes so you can control your hand size. Discards Water Energy, which seems weird, but when combined with superior energy retrieval, it can become instant energy in your hand. Computer Search to fetch us any card we might be missing in order to get a KO or to get that turn 1 Archies. Trainer's Mail in order to keep digging through our deck and get that turn 1 Archies. As you can see, the whole deck is heavily focused on getting the right cards on turn 1. And if any of you haven't seen the finals of last year's Worlds, you really should see that, because you will see how the deck just gets rid of everything in order to... It really goes all in on turn 1 in order to get that Blastoise out. 4 versus Seeker in order to reuse any supporters we might need, especially Lysander, once the game has gone past the getting the Blastoise out point. And in the late game we might need to end in order to deny our opponents some prizes. 2 Sycamore only because you can get them in the discard with Battle Compressor and then use them with Versus Seeker, but our main focus is using Archie on turn 1, not Sycamore, so that's why we don't require 4 in this deck. Only 1 Counter Stadium, which is something that I've always been a little bit shaky on this deck, and it's rough seas right now. It could potentially be a Skyfield, because sometimes you just either need more bench space or you would love to play the Skyfield, bench some other things, and for it to be countered so you can remove potential Lysander targets like Jirachi or Shaman, or even sometimes Execute from your bench. 1 Floatstone in order to help retreat and things like that. 1 Muscle Band in case you need that extra power or you need to save the energy. And 11 basic water energy to power up absolutely everything in the deck. Now that was pretty quick. There's tons of information on this deck in other channels, in websites, it won Worlds. So shall we get right into the matches? I think so. The Pokemon Trading Card Game Online doesn't like it that we are using Blastoise and not Squirtle, but with Archies that's not a problem. And let's find a match right away. Now, it's been a while since I've played Expanded before this practice games, and we're up against a metal colorless deck. So fortunately we are not afraid of Aegislash thanks to Keldeo, but we do start with a metal weak Pokemon, so that might be a bit problematic. Now I'm not gonna bench Jirachi. Oh, it's Durant actually. Wow. Okay, so we have to be careful against this guy. And actually, powering up Articuno now seems very appealing. Now, we could get a turn 1 Blastoise easily if we get something that can discard Discamore out of our discard pile. Out of our hand, I mean. So, gonna Battle Compressor first. This will be very interesting though, because my opponent... We're going to dig through a lot of our deck right now, hopefully. And my opponent also wants to get rid of cards from my deck. So we're going to get rid of Blastoise, and there's Archies. So perhaps an energy is our best bet here to get rid of. I think so. Yeah. Against this deck we just need to power up one thing. So I'm just gonna do that, and now we really need an Ultra Ball, Computer Search, or a Trainer's Mail perhaps, Something to get us. Okay, there's the Ultra Ball. I'm pretty sure this guarantees us the turn 1 Blastoise. Why? Because Jirachi will get us the Archies. We can bench Mewtwo. We can attach the Water Energy, or do we want the Float Stone? Yeah, I think we want the Float Stone on here. Gonna attach the Float Stone. Energy is not that important. I'm gonna Ultra Ball these 2 cards away for a Keldeo. And now we can play Archies. And there's our turn 1 Blastoise. We get 5 more energy, 5 more cards. And we can actually use Superior Energy Retrieval now. Gonna use Trainer's Mail. I'm gonna get the Battle Compressor. We definitely don't want to discard any more cards. Gonna use Execute's Propagation, and I'm gonna discard these 2 in order to get all these energy back, which I don't know if I want to attach them to Articuno or to Keldeo. Our opponent calls us out for net decking. I'm gonna attach them to Keldeo. Our opponent calls us out on net decking, which, I mean, he can do that. There's no issue with net decking, especially if you're a beginner. It's great to start off with new cards, with really good decks in order to get a feel of what it's like to be competitive and things like that. And yeah, sometimes you gotta use the most used deck in order to win. And yeah, Blastoise Keldeo is pretty popular right now to a certain point, but never feel ashamed of using any card, any sort of deck, be it super original or not so original. You really should never be ashamed of using it. Now this is kind of why I wanted to power up Articuno, because I could possibly take 2 prizes now, and life due is an issue a bit, but my opponent is using Birch, which that alone tells me he's not fully utilizing the best supporters, I would guess, because there's certainly better options. Oh wow, he's using Klinklang actually. Okay, that changes everything. I'm glad we have the Lysander in our hand and our Versus Seeker. If he had waited to play 2 Klinks, then we'd be in trouble. Now we are in trouble actually. Okay, we top deck the water, which is very fortunate. Gonna go after the Klink, because I don't want to deal with Plasma Klinklang. If he gets that out, we are forced to attack with Articuno, which I guess is not terrible, but I'd rather not. Goes for Teammates. So my opponent's deck is very original, I'll give him that. There's no need to insult another person if you're not using the most original deck. His deck is pretty original. I'm not sure if it's that competitive, but he gets points on originality. Now we are in a pretty good position, as long as he doesn't get another Crushing Hammerheads or something like that, where we are forced to dig deeper into our deck in order to fetch more energy. He got rid of 4 more cards, and I really should know if N is there. but I'm fine just taking another price here. If it's priced, we won't deck before he gets it. Before we get it, most likely. There's now 5 energy in my discard pile, which is not good. Definitely not good. And we have no way. We need 1 energy. My opponent is down to 2 cards. He didn't use a supporter last turn. Oh no, never mind. He used Team Fleur Grunt. So I think I am forced to play Jirachi here. Gonna check for the N. If the N is in there, I'm gonna feel pretty safe. Still, yeah, the N is there. There's only 2 energy left and 1 superior energy retrieval actually, so that could potentially be a problem. We've only just 1, so there's 2 superior energy retrieval priced. That's pretty terrible for us. I'm not gonna get any Pokemon. Gonna play Shaman. We didn't get an energy. Now that is a big issue. A really big issue. I think I'm gonna have to use the Battle Compressor and a Versus Seeker for the N. But I don't want to help him. Yikes. And we can't Sycamore, obviously. We could gonna Lysander up the Durant without an energy, because he might not have an energy to attack once again with Devour. Trick Shovel gets he gets an energy, so now we are less likely to draw it. Okay, at least he didn't get that, but we are in big trouble. We should be taking a prize of return. I can't believe he got so many energies, and he got an energy now. He got the N and he got the superior energy retrieval, so we are down to 1 energy left because superior energy is prized. That's just so unfair. Gonna use Propagation just to make my deck bigger, but no, not Lysander. And the odds of us getting the energy are very low. We of course do not get it, I mean. So this match is lost. He got the perfect Trick Shovels, he got the perfect discards. We couldn't get 1 energy. We needed 1 extra energy to attack, and we did not get it. He's using Birch. I can't believe we're going to lose to someone using Birch instead of N. Plays 2 Crushing Hammers, gets Tails on both, but our prizes also really screwed us over. We had energy on our field. This would be game. We could have also drawn the Computer Search. And now there's 4 cards. So, fortunately, I'm gonna have to concede this one. Our prizes really screwed us up. My opponent got the perfect Trick Shovels, the perfect things. He got rid of our energy, which is ultimately what you have to do with that deck. But very frustrating to lose that way. When we got the turn 1 Blastoise, 1 more energy, that's all we needed. 1 more energy to put so much more pressure on our opponent, and it would have eventually allowed us to get 1 of our 2 superior energy retrievals from the discard pile. So very unfortunate, but it happens. We mulligan. We're up against a Psychic deck, and it's using Sparkling Robe and Hex Maniac. Dimension Valley. So our start is obviously not stellar. You never really want to start with Shaman. And he has Sigilyph. Okay, so it's a tool drop deck actually. So we pretty much have to guarantee Blastoise here. In order to do that, okay, let me think. I think I should gonna see what I get here. Okay, there's the Archies. So we just need to get our hands down. How do we do this? We use Ultra Ball to discard these two, Ultra Ball to discard these two, attach, okay, yeah, Ultra Ball, discard, 2 versus Seeker, which is not ideal, obviously, but we get Blastoise. Then we're gonna have to play an Execute down, actually. But we use Ultra Ball to get rid of Blastoise and the Superior Energy Retrieval in order to get a Keldeo or Articuno. There's no Articuno. Both of them are priced. Wow, these price issues are terrible. I guess it's better than having 2 Blastoise priced. We play the Execute and we play the Arches in order to get our turn 1 Blastoise. Now, can I use this? Get rid of the other Execute so we can actually use it. Okay, there's Execute. I don't think we'll be using Mewtwo. We definitely don't want Blastoise in the deck anymore. And what else don't we want? Possibly Jirachi. Though we might want Jirachi to get the Lysander out at some point. So what else do I get rid of? Probably an energy in order to, in case we draw a superior energy retrieval, there's things we can actually get. Gonna use the Luge once more. Gonna use Trainer's Mail. Gonna get the Ultra Ball. And going to use Propagation. And I think I'm gonna pass. Gonna bench Keldeo. And now I'm gonna pass. Because he could get a turn 1 KO on Shaman. Yeah, actually I'm gonna promote this Keldeo. I don't want to give up 2 free prizes. If he wants to get a KO on Shaman, he can use Lysander. Okay, Headringer on the active. I'm fine with that because this one's the one that has energy. Plays Dimension Valley, plays a Level Ball, gets a Trubbish. Dimension Valley is very nice. And plays an N. So we get fresh new cards. He's using all these trainers. That's a double free retreating Sigilyph, and he does damage to Keldeo. That's fine. We just need energy now. There's no Sycamore. So hopefully we don't have to use a superior energy retrieval for just the 1 energy. Acrobite, get the Mewtwo, and I think that's exactly what we're gonna have to do. I think I get Sycamore here. Although I really would like to not get rid of. I'm gonna get the Acrobike. This might not getting rid of versus Seeker anyways, fine. Gonna attach the energy, promote Keldeo, and I think I want to take a KO on Sigilyph to get rid of tools. Not too worried about Trubbish if it doesn't have any tools, and that's 3 tools that are gone now. Here we can combine Battle Compressor with Superior Energy Retrieval in order to to get more energy into play in case Keldeo goes down. But what I would really like is to be able to get an Articuno with a muscle band ready. Now, Life Dew. I really dislike Life Dew. I don't think I need to play anything else right now. Do I want to thin my deck out? I'm gonna get a Sycamore in the discard pile. Okay, are there energy? There's one. So I'm gonna get 2 energy in my discard pile and Sycamore in case we need to versus Seeker for it. I'm not gonna play the other Battle Compressor, and I'm just gonna KO this. Unfortunately, no price because of the Life Dew, but we are probably going to be drawing prizes from every turn on out, unless he acquires the Life Dew once again. Okay, he's not. Does he have a KO on the active? Because if not, why would you play the Head Ringer on the Shaman and not on the active Keldeo? That's very weird. He only has 3 tools in play. Oh, but those tools count as well. That's right. So yeah, he probably won't miss an energy drop. So yeah, not having Articuno here is probably going to cost us a big deal. Not entirely sure who to use, but I'm pretty sure it's Keldeo here. Not Mewtwo. Keldeo only has 90 HP left though. Oh. The 2-for-1 trade-off is going to be terrible here. But gonna use no propagation. No propagation? I thought I got rid of the other execute. Gonna do that now. Was that last game? And I'm hallucinating? Okay, no, there's execute. Gonna discard the N because I might want to end him next turn. And what else do I want to get rid of? I think Jirachi. Yeah, definitely Jirachi. Okay. So now I can use propagation, use superior energy retrieval, get rid of execute, and actually we could attack with Kyogre and take 2 KOs. I think I'm gonna do that. No, but we can't retreat Keldeo anymore. Yeah, never mind. Gonna get rid of these 2, get back 4 water energy, and I am going to deluge 2 of them here. No, 4, I'm sorry, in order to get a KO. And just in case, I'm gonna deluge 2 Mewtwo as well. Gonna take the KO on Trubbish. There's another energy, so we are guaranteed another KO on Trubbish next turn. Our best chance is if he misses out on benching a Trubbish. There's a glitch that won't let us look at any discard pile, which is very unfortunate. But I'm pretty sure we've KO'd 3 Trubbish by now, so that's his last Trubbish. I don't think he has any other attackers, or we haven't seen any other attackers. I would guess he has Mewtwo perhaps. There's a Sycamore, but still no more Trubbish. And look at his deck. Okay, he gets a super KO, but we are pretty safe for next turn. Gonna end him anyways, just because I'd like some cards myself. And I'm gonna bench the Kyogre. There's the N. Gonna take the KO on Trubbish, and still no Articuno. Wow, Articuno would be extremely helpful here. But we are not getting Articuno. Gets a level ball. There's a Trubbish, and does he have the energy? He does. So out of the 2-card N, he got exactly what he needed to beat us. So not a great start for the deck. 2 losses, which is I think a first in our series, but we were very unfortunate last game, and if we could have used Articuno this game, he wouldn't have been able to get 2 prizes every turn, but not much else I could have done. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video, guys, subscribe, check out my Facebook page, check out Pokemex as well if you're interested in Spanish content at all. There will be an extra video on this deck tomorrow in Spanish if you want to check that out. And yeah, thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.